Our automotive sector is significantly impacted by external and international issues that influence all other countries because our auto industry depends on the importation of old cars from abroad. However, we cannot disregard internal factors that influence the affordability of cars for Ugandan consumers, such as the Uganda Revenue Authority regulations and inflation. Following the country's ban on importing older models of vehicles, importers are switching to importing drone cars despite being expensive and heavily taxed. The Kenya Ports Authority recently informed customers in transit business that customers who store imported cars for longer than 21 days will be given a fine, with the fine going into effect on 1st May 2023.
It's not our will that we turn to these new model vehicles, which you locally call drone. We shifted from Chigege, not because we wished, but was a government program that the model was no longer allowed to enter Uganda. This model starts from 208 onwards. So any vehicle coming to Uganda below that model is not allowed in. That's why we are compelled to turn to drone. Otherwise, we appreciate that these are of better service than Chigege, but of course they are more expensive than Chigege.
Additionally, the revenue at the Port Mombasa is constantly changing and is greatly impacted by the traders, particularly those who import Japanese and European spare parts.
There is no clear prices, there are no, you might bring the same items this time, and you're given a different charge to pay for the taxes. The next time the same thing happens, you have the same quantity or less and you are charged more, or sometimes. So that really affects you because you cannot really account for what you're bringing.
According to the chairman, Tadeo Kawali, he urges the East African community to develop a common tariff of the Port of Mombasa in order to solve the problem of high taxes that change day to day on the same product, putting pressure on businessmen.
It is so accommodative to others, but us, the business community, we are being pressed with that. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of unfairness that people are not even willing to go back to business just because of that problem. So if it is solved within East African community, we hope that we should get a transparent light which we can at least accommodate even other business guys to enter.
Furthermore, Toyota Hiace is more cost-effective in terms of transportation because an engine costs only 3 million Ugandan shillings, whereas a drone engine costs 7 million shillings, which is more expensive despite performing better than Toyota Hiace.
Passengers need drone cars, but for us, the spares for a drone, we can't afford it because it is highly expensive. Just imagine when the engine collapses, you need 7 million shillings to replace the new ones. Yet the Toyota Hiace taxi, you only need 3 million for its maintenance.
Ayub Rafiki, an importer, discusses why Uganda Revenue Authority is doubling taxes based on pricing, taxing and billings, which is still a major challenge for importers where taxes fluctuate all the time, producing losses in the business.
They bill according to years of make, they are billed according to chassis number. That's how they bill their taxes. Whereby in other countries, they bill according to the invoice, how much you have bought the car. They do value and they give you what? The taxes. Here in Uganda, it's a different way. They value according to year of make, and they value. They don't mind about how much you have bought. They don't mind about how much you have put in. They don't mind about the expenses, but they mind about their what? The year of make and their chassis.
Second-hand vehicles are an affordable option for any potential car buyers. The government, however, has stopped importation of old cars from entering the country. Last year, the Uganda Revenue Authority announced a ban on importing cars older than 9 years, but this was later revised to cars older than 13 years due to the global economic trend and inflation. Older vehicles must therefore be registered at the port of entry. Andrew Barije, Kirimunda, Smart 24 Business Today.